Hi there, this is Karim. I'm a community ambassador in Haas Online. In this video, we will talk about everything related to actual trading part in HaasScript. We'll briefly review the HaasBot trading interface. Then we will talk about managed trading and unmanaged trading functions, their capabilities and limitations. Lastly, we will look at some rules that may not be obvious for those who are new to HaasScript. Trading functions are often the most complex part of any script. Hopefully this video will save you a lot of confusion and time. If you are new to algo trading and specifically new to trading in HaasScript, this video will be very useful. Or even if you already have some experience, but often have some random so-called ghost positions appearing, this video will help you understand the trading engine rules better. So let's dive in. First, it's important to mention that there is a certain frequency of execution for the script. The script is rerun and recalculated repeatedly. During backtesting, the calculation happens every minute, regardless what interval of candles you are using. Which means it's possible to access the information of the OHLC values of every 1 minute candle in the backtest. Even if you are doing TA on higher interval candles, the 1 minute frequency of calculation in the backtest helps with more realistic prices for entries and exits, since we know exactly what the price did inside that 1 hour candle that we are performing the TA on. There are two functions that affect the calculation frequency. First, it's enable high-speed updates. When you use it, it will recalculate the script every time an order confirmation is sent back by the exchange. The other function will restrict or slow down the script recalculation frequency to a certain time interval. It's called optimized for interval. You can wrap any part of the script with optimized for interval. Then enter the interval that you like as the first parameter. This is usually going to be current interval of the bot. And then add the keyword function with parentheses. Then after the wrap part, add the keyword end and closing parentheses. In general, for most scripts, it's recommended to put the inputs, the technical analysis, and the plotting parts of the script inside the optimize for interval function, and leave the order and position management comments outside. Optimize for interval helps speed up the backtest, which is great for complex scripts or if you are backtesting on a long time frame. It is also necessary for some TA calculations that should only be updated once per candle, like some iterative calculations or for example the Tom demarked sequential count. As you see, the TD count is not correct once we remove the OFI. Moving on to the main settings, on the left here you can select an exchange account and market and leverage where applicable. To save the settings you can click Save on the script editor. To add exchange accounts, click Menu in the top right, Exchange Accounts, then click the plus button. To add a real account, click Exchange Account. Select the exchange that you'd like and then add the public and secret API keys. If you need help with the procedure, click Obtaining the API keys. It will take you to a short guide on how to properly set up the API that is specific to the exchange that you've selected. If you want to add an account to paper trade or forward test bots on, click on Simulated Account. Here you just give it a name. For simulated accounts, you can configure your wallet by adding necessary coins. When you're trading on a simulated account, it will behave as if it was a real account, except for the actual sending orders to the exchange. You can check the simulated account's balances, positions, and open orders in the account data. Trading on a simulated account is a great way to forward test a strategy, as well as test the script for the type of bugs or unexpected behavior that isn't apparent in a backtest. With that out of the way, we are ready to look at the main trading commands. There are two different types of trading engines in HaasScript. One is called Managed Trading and is mostly used for simpler scripts. It has less functionality but provides smart automated position and order management. I'll show you what I mean here. Let's make a simple RSI strategy. We'll buy when the RSI is below 30 and sell when RSI is above 70. Let's see what it does when we run it. Let's add the RSI plotting with our buy and sell zones. First, we can see how it sent multiple signals to buy whenever RSI was below 30 or sell when it was above 70. However, we had only one field order from every group of signals. That's the Managed Trading engine at work. It automatically determines the current position and open orders. So whenever a signal to go long is sent, but there is already an open order to buy or the position is already long, it will not make a repeat buy. It will only act on a go long signal again if the position is neutral or short. Additionally, it decides whether to simply go long or we need to exit short first, and executes accordingly. For example, here you can see when there was a signal to go short, it first exited a long automatically and then entered a short. There is also a do exit position, which is a nice tool which can exit a position regardless of its direction. Do long and do short are managed trading functions for leverage trading. There's also do buy and do sell for spot markets. Spot and leverage do X trading commands are interchangeable. The last do X command is do signal. It takes an input of the signal enum type and executes whatever the signal is. It can be used with easy indicators family as well as our own strategies if we choose to use signal enums. These do X commands only have one optional note input, which is a string that is saved with the order. This note appears on the graph if you hover over a field order circle, and also you can see them in the log, and it's saved in the backtest history. If you want to control the order amount or order type, you can change them in the main settings of the script on the left. Managed trading is great for the most common buy-sell type of strategies when you have a set of clear entry conditions and exit conditions. While the smart and safe handling of managed trading is nice, it lacks nuances. First, there's no pyramiding. If you've bought already, you can't add to the position. Also, we can't exit a position partially to take off some profit on a trade. Once we set an order, we can't cancel it, and most of the time it's executed right away, since we can't control the price. So it just uses the current bid and ask price. Now let's look at the unmanaged trading. Instead of do long, we'll use place go long order. As we open the parentheses, we can see the big difference between the two approaches. Here we can control so many more things. Let's look at this one by one. First, we got order price and amount. And in each we can input a variable, meaning we could say something like current price plus 5% to submit a take profit order, always 5% above the price. We can also choose to only use 50% of our position as the amount for this order and then have second place go long order with the other 50%. Or we can set it to trade with 20% of our current valid value. Some traders even implement dynamic trading amount, where the more they are losing, the smaller the amount they use, and the more they are winning, the more they use. Unmanaged trading makes the trading a whole lot more flexible. Next, we have the market selection. 90% of the time it will be left as the price market, meaning the market of the main price chart of this bot. However, I have seen people using TA on one coin to trade on another coin, or using TA on one exchange to trade on the same pair but on another exchange. If that's what you want to do, you can use either input market or input account market here, where you can select the exchange, account, and the market. You can also then log this info and then input the string result into the market parameter, so you won't have to select it every time you create a new bot. Next, we've got order type. This depends heavily on what the exchange API supports. Almost all exchanges allow limit and market orders, and most of the leverage exchanges also support stop orders. A few have maker-only orders. We can also add notes, same thing as I showed with the doEx trading functions. This is mostly for your own convenience and is usually used in the backtest and debugging periods. We can assign ID strings to positions ourselves when we input something in this parameter. If this is an exit order, then we can specify which position we want to exit, if we are trading multiple positions at once. If we leave this empty, then it's automatically assigned a unique ID string to the new position. Or if this is an exit order, then it automatically gets the open position ID, if there is only one position. We can also set a timeout for an order. By default, the timeout for all order types except for no timeout order type is 10 minutes. And of course, the market order type does not need a timeout since it's executed immediately. If you don't want your orders to be automatically cancelled if they aren't filled within 10 minutes, then make sure to set this to a negative value, which will disable the timeout for this order. If we are using conditional order types, like stop limit or stop market order type or take profit market order type, we will need to specify the price at which they are triggered. These orders are submitted to the exchange as native conditional orders. And you can relax that even if the exchange has some issues during big market moves, your stop and take profit orders are already on the exchange and will trigger automatically. The next parameter is my favorite, the reduce only flag. If the exchange supports such order types, which most leverage exchanges do, then you can freely submit multiple different exit orders. For example, a stop loss order under the previous important level, then a take profit order at your target level, as well as allow dynamic exit to be triggered by the TA conditions. With reduce only flag, you won't have to worry that multiple of them will trigger and you'll end up in an unwanted long position when you just wanted to exit a short. The last parameter is mostly useful for whale users. If you don't want others to see your big order in the order book, then you can add a hidden type flag to your order. It took us that long just to list and briefly talk about the parameters. I'd also like to point out that in managed trading, you also could change the price, trade amount and order type, but only as a setting for the whole bot. With placex order commands, we can control those and more parameters for each order separately. So if you want something beyond the common buy-sell type of strategies, like pyramiding or grid trading, or even some kind of market making, you will need to use Unmanaged Trading. The main commands for that are place go long order, place go short order for entries, and place exit long order and place exit short order for exits. There's also place exit position, which will exit the position whether it's short or long. Note that unless you use reduce only flag for exits, those place exit X commands can and will enter new positions in the opposite direction, because place exit long is essentially a sell order on the exchange, and place exit short is a buy order. So I would recommend that unless you intentionally are using place exit X commands to also enter any position, then it's best to always include the reduce only flag to all place exit X commands. Now back to our little algo. Let's try to use those commands instead of the do orders. By the way, you can't mix managed and unmanaged trading commands. The compiler will throw an error and won't execute. So after we set both commands to unmanaged trading type, let's see what happens. As you probably expected, the result is a mess. The first thing I can do to start fixing it is to use crossover and cross under instead of a simple comparison in the logic. Let's do that. More importantly, we should make it so the bot will ignore the crossover if it's already in a short position and ignore the cross under if it's already in a long position. So we will need to find out bot's position. There are two ways to do so. One is asking the position from the exchange, another is to look at the position of the bot. The two aren't necessarily the same. For example, if we already were 10 Ether long on the exchange, and then we start our bot, and then it went short by 5 Ether, the position of the bot will be 5 Ether short, but the position on the exchange will be 5 Ether long. The reason why these are separate is it allows the deployment of multiple different bots on the same market pair and keep track of each bot's performance and trade history separately. This especially is useful with spot markets. However, on leverage exchanges, I would suggest using linked sub-accounts and avoid confusing calculations of the dynamic risk exposure that multiple bots on the same pair would create. So to check the position on the exchange, we'll use max exit long amount and max exit short amount commands. If we have a long position on the exchange on the selected market, max exit long amount will return the amount of that position, and vice versa for max exit short amount. This way we can see the actual position on the exchange. Note that max exit long amount and max exit short amount are best to check the current position size and direction on the exchange, while max long amount and max short amount are used to check how big of a position we can enter. Then we can check the bot's own position by using get all open positions, which returns an array of position containers. If there are no positions, it returns an empty array. Each position container is a table with position ID, account, market, leverage of the position, and direction. It also stores entry price, the amount, and the profit and ROI. Let's make it so if our bot position is long and the position amount is bigger than minimum trading amount, then we won't place go long order. And vice versa for the place go short order. Now we also should specify that if the TA is saying to go short, but the position is long, we should also exit long before we enter short. Let's add the same logic for the place go long order part. I usually like to use market orders to enter a position. In my opinion, it's best to pay the market taker's fee, but ensure that I get in the position when the TA is saying so, rather than miss an opportunity. But if you're trading with very big amounts and don't want to lose on slippage and taker's fee, it's best to use limit orders. So let's imagine that we used limit orders or maker or cancel order type here, so now we are sending our orders to the order book as limit orders. We should place a sell order at the ask price and buy order at the bid price. Now, as you know, these orders may take a few minutes to fill. The problem is that our bot will keep sending the new order, while the TA condition is satisfied. So if we are trading on 5-minute candles, then the TA conditions that we apply to that 5-minute time frame will be satisfied during the whole candle. Every time the bot will be updated inside that candle, it will trigger the order submission. So we must also add the condition that if there is an open order, we won't send new orders. At this point it's starting to get messy. So it's a good idea, in fact, to separate the TA portion and the order position management. The RSI TA logic will continue as usual, and we will say that the signal is signal long, signal short, or signal none. These signals don't do anything by themselves, we're just saving them in a variable so we can later execute trading based on these signals. Then in the order and position management part, then we will check the open orders, check the open positions. If the signal is signal long, if there are no open orders, and there is either no position or the position is short, we will send a place go long order. If the position is short, place exit short first. Then let's copy all these rules to the enter short side. We need a way to track whether the order is open. Is any order open is another useful command that will check if any orders are opened by the bot. Another good idea would be to cancel any enter short open orders if the signal is enter long. So now we don't just check if there are no orders, we will also accept if there are open enter short orders. We need a way to track whether the order is open. To do it, we can assign the order to a variable and then use it in isOrderOpen command. The no long order is a boolean that will be true if the long ID order is not open. And the same logic for no short order. Note that all these commands are only seeing orders that are submitted by the bot, and specifically this script instance. If another script or even another copy of this script placed an order on the same market, we won't see it in the current script's isAnyOrderOpen. If we placed an order on the exchange manually, we will also not see those orders by isAnyOrderOpen, and cancel all orders won't affect them. Lastly, I wanted to say that just like position containers, there are also order containers. There are tables with all the details about an order. However, they aren't really needed for majority of buy-sell strategies and mostly are used for market making, flash crash, DCA, and grid trading strategies, so they are out of the scope of this video. Alright, let's test our bot now. And there are no orders, so something is wrong in our code. Let's do some debugging. We can see that RSI goes above 70 and below 30, but produces no signals. So let's look at our logic. If the signal is signal long, that definitely happens. Then we got if position not long and no long order. I'm pretty sure that the position check is working, so let's look at no long order. Aha, so that's the problem. We only defined no long order for the case when there is some open order. When the bot is just starting, there will be no open orders. This isAnyOrderOpen always goes to else branch, and then our no long order will be nil. Okay, let's try again. Still not working. Oh, this should be true, not false. If there are no open orders, then there are also no long open orders. Okay, we got some progress. Now it's throwing another error. Attempt to perform arithmetic on a user data value at line 50. Let's look at line 50. Aha, so we got current price, which is a table. So we need to specify which value from the table we will multiply. Let's use bid price here. And it's working now. Great. It looks as if there is an issue since we only have orders at the start of the graph, but the reason is that after this point our RSI never went above 70, so we never flipped to short position. So everything is working correctly. One of the things that I often do in my scripts is to check and compare the bot's position and the position on the exchange. And if there is a desync, we can start a counter . And if the difference between the positions is not resolved in 5 update cycles, we can deactivate the bot. Also, it's probably a good idea to try and cancel all orders before deactivation. This is a very basic safety measure. Then once we come back to the script, we can check what went wrong, why our position in the bot and the exchange was not syncing, and fix it and restart the bot. Alright, let's recap and talk about some rules of trading with HaasScript. 1. Keep in mind that the script is updating multiple times inside each candle, whether it's live trading or running a backtest. So use optimized for interval function to wrap the parts of the code that don't require the recalculation that often, which is usually the TA portion. Even if your TA doesn't require that, you will still benefit from the faster script execution time and speed up backtests. 2. Unless you really need some high customization like using native stop orders or dynamically controlling your trade amount or price of the orders, or you have pyramiding, dollar cost averaging or some other type of trading, consider making use of Haas smart trading engine to take care of your order and position management by using managed trading commands, the doX commands. 3. Each order and position have unique IDs. You can also assign the string ID to a position when you use placeGoX commands. 4. Orders that were submitted manually by you or by another script can't be seen or accessed by the HaasScript. On the other hand, you can check the real position on the exchange by using maxExitLong and maxExitShort commands. But remember that the position of the bot and the position on the exchange are not the same thing. 5. If the position on the exchange and position of the bot are distinct, you can use that information to either adjust the bot's position by using adjust fee position, or you can choose to deactivate the bot to later check on it yourself. 6. Use reduce only flags for placeExitX commands, so they won't accidentally enter new positions. 7. The last tip is not required if you are trading only one position at a time, but in general, even then I think it's a good practice. Whenever you enter a new position with placeGoX commands, save that position ID and then use that ID in the placeExitX commands. If you have any questions about trading with HaasScript, then please leave a comment below, or you can go to the official Haas Discord channel. If you found this video useful, please consider leaving a like. Happy trading! Hope you have a lot of fun and profits.